So, not the end of the talks, but the first round of talks have certainly failed. Here's Donald Trump. Gentlemen, listening to what the US president had to say from the lawns of the White House. He likes to address the media early in the morning over there. And he said that he doesn't care. It doesn't matter to him if the talks, go on a certain way or not. He's killed the Ayatollah. He was ruling for a long period of time. He's killed the leaders. He's depleted their navy. He's absolutely decimated their missile capabilities, and he's already won the war. So why send J.D. Vance halfway across the world for these talks? Here's the U.S. president. And Ambassador, I'll come pick your brains on that right after this.
And
why do you say that? You don't know anything. Who are you with? Who are you with?
ABC News, Julie Circus.
ABC?
NBC.
Well, that's fake news.
Mr. President.
Let me just tell you, we win no matter what. We've defeated their military. They have no navy. 158 ships are underwater, undersea. All of their minesweepers and all of their, they call them mine droppers. Can you imagine? A country has 28 mine droppers. You think that's nice? With all of that being said, they're all defeated, by the way. They're all at the bottom of the sea. Now, with all of that, they have no navy. They have no radar. They have no air force. Their leaders are all dead. With Khomeini is gone. For many years he ruled. He's gone. With all of that, let's see what happens. But from my standpoint, I don't care.
I mean, look at that, Ambassador. He begins his response by saying, you don't know anything. Who are you with? Let me tell you. And this sounds like a delusion of grandeur. More than the reporter, I think the US president is trying to tell himself, hey, look, we've already won.
Kabir, if you permit a rather light-hearted remark, I think he's still looking for a Nobel Prize, whether for war or for peace. I mean, I don't understand. But seriously speaking, President Trump either does not know or he's trying to convince himself that the victory is not merely destruction of the armament of the country. The days when the victory could be achieved by decimating the armies are over. You need to basically meet your objectives. Has he been able to get those objectives? The nuclear program, change of regime, just by killing Khomeini, another Khomeini comes in.
Yeah.
So where is the regime change? Nuclear program, that was agreed to before even the war began. Oman had declared it. Ballistic missiles, Iran still has it. So, and Iran is still a power in the region. As is quite evident now that you are still asking the Straits of Hormuz to be open, even if it does not benefit USA. The gasoline prices are going up. Trump is looking at the midterm elections. For him, his own political survival is at stake. This is 2026. 2028 is the next election. Next year, the election campaign will begin. Trump is seeing the future. Even if he doesn't come for the next round, Republicans are. So what I'm saying here is Trump may think whatever, but I think the USA government and the people who were actually leading the negotiations, they know what they have to do. And I remain optimistic that despite Trump and despite all the statements he made, we will have a future round and something will happen. That's all.
Okay, so a future round. We still don't know the venue. And of course, you're right, Ambassador. Iran's, own IRIB has put out, the Tasnim news agency has said that an informed source that has been quoted by the Tasnim news agency says that the ball is now in America's court. Iran is in no hurry. They've accused the United States of miscalculating the negotiations just as it had done in the war, and warned that nothing would change in the Strait of Hormuz until the United States agrees to a reasonable agreement. So you've got Iran's demands, and on the other hand, you've got United States' red lines. And nuclear posture, nuclear disarmament and Strait of Hormuz seem to be those two sticky points. But General, coming back to Netanyahu, who you said is the white elephant that needs to come to this, a negotiating table. What happens to Lebanon now? I mean, he's using it until he loses it. We've seen it already. You spoke about the first day of the cessation of hostilities. Over 300 people have died in Beirut till then. And it seems to be some sort of concession on the Iranian side, because even as these talks are taking place, it seems like it's a green light for Netanyahu for creating that buffer zone and taking on anything that's south of the Litani River. What happens in that situation? Will the United States be able to rein in a Netanyahu? Will the United States be able to tame an uncontrollable Netanyahu? And what happens to the entire region? Are we recounting to a possible restart of these hostilities? I remember Netanyahu categorically called out Erdogan for siding with Iran as well.
Yeah, Kabir, see, it's like this, that Netanyahu is buying time because that is my assessment. If you remember, day before yesterday, there was a phone call between Trump and Netanyahu just before the talks were to start.
Yeah.
So one of the sticking points was Lebanon, and I think Trump had told Netanyahu, as I see it, because the call was for that very purpose, that you have to close down your offensive in Lebanon, and possibly Netanyahu wanted some more time. So I have a feeling that the agenda is still unfinished as far as Netanyahu is concerned. He needs more time to make a dent into that south of Litani River, and especially the south of the Blue Line, because that was one kind of a demarcation which was given after the 2006 conflict, and the UNIFIL is there. Unfortunately, I am given to understand there have been casualties in the UNIFIL also. Some Indonesian soldiers have been killed there. So it is a very, very serious development there, that a UN team has been targeted. It may be a collateral, or it may be an unintentional kind of a strike, but the fact is that there have been casualties on the UN side also. So I think, and also I will take your attention to Starmer's initiative in getting 30 countries together.
35, General.
Yeah, 35 to condemn this offensive of Israel in Lebanon. So I don't see this Lebanon offensive going on for a very long time, and I see this entire stalling of talks and all this thing happening, delay tactics. I personally think that these are delay tactics to give Netanyahu some more time to sort out his offensive in Lebanon.
What do you make of that? Is Netanyahu beyond Donald Trump's control? It seems like, we were earlier talking about how there's not just influence of, the Israelis in how the Pentagon functions, there's clear-cut infiltration. So now, how they say in Hindi, baat haath se nikal chuki hai. Is that the situation with Netanyahu vis-a-vis Donald Trump's control?
No, I don't think so, because there is a public perception which is going on in the media also. It is going on that Netanyahu has gone rogue. I'll say, I will like to use the term that he has gone rogue, and he's not in control of Trump, because see, Netanyahu cannot fight this war alone. He needs America.